All right, welcome back to Dead of Ages Past. This is session 15. Don't let the job. Dot dot dot. And we're missing a couple of players today. They might show up in the middle. We'll find out as we continue. At the end of last session, the group had another interesting day in the city of Rostagar, and made it back to Lord Kurgosler's estate. Once they arrive there. Yen Lauren and Brox go back to their studies and research and are basically working together and are isolated aside and away and are not able to be talked to and are now NPCs because they're not here. And so that said, you guys arrive at the house, and I was basically setting it up for you guys to discuss what you're doing next because there isn't really much in the way of direction as it goes, kind of bouncing around a bit. I'm going to let you guys talk for a while and ground it out.
Go ahead.
I'll just let everybody know, just to remind you all what happened today, being last session. I'm going to prepare, cast, or speak with Dead, so that tomorrow we can go do what we need to do with whoever that was. I don't remember at the moment, but you guys remember who I'm talking about?
Yakuza. You're talking about the Yakuza.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I was actually going to remind you to
Kengo.
prepare that spell for them.
I have it written down in my to-do list. And
We also need to locate the two people in the dossier to have a more finality and completion to the mission as well.
And we need to somehow get the other groups together to meet with Val and the Mardigans at the Falling Garter.
yes.
Not sure how we're going to do that.
Do you need to find the other people? Wasn't the point of finding them to hopefully be able to figure out where, Dedzo is?
Yes, but the client now wishes to speak to them to try and garner any information they can.
Do you guys think it would be possible? I don't know if when we talked to him, he said anything about this, but would it be possible for Mardigan to call together all of the gangs, and then we'll have one big talk, or do we need to talk to each individual gang to tell them what we're doing?
God, I hope not.
I believe
Me neither. There's about 10 more or something.
that seems to be what he implied. He is fine with the status quo, but wouldn't mind change as long as he's at the head of it, but he will not lift his finger, at least yet, as of yet. Currently, all we have is his agreement to said meeting. The Night Trucks we don't even have until we complete this mission, and then we've only just started to gain their trust.
Right.
This may take a little bit of time, but we should just focus on the initial thing ahead of us is gaining the Night Shark's trust, which involves serving the Kengo. And by serving the Kengo, we may gain their acceptance to join this meeting as well.
Right. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we should just finish some of those things that we already know we need to do. Let's check up on the guy who's living in my basement. Because I want to know what the hell is going on. Actually, speaking of that, if there's any one of you guys who could possibly get the, what was the name of, not the Night Sharks, but the Idealists. If there's any of you guys who could get him in contact with the Idealists, that would be great. Because I was thinking about it, and I thought, getting rid of this guy would be great, but depending on who gets him, it could be real bad for us, because he knows some of our information that we don't want anybody else to know. You know what I mean? He's been in this house, he knows other things. So, we just got to get him out of here. So, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you have any contacts?
Well, Sam
not
is
at
a
all.
member of
He's
the
now an
Idealists.
elevated member, right?
We don't know that.
We don't know that.
So,
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I never told you guys what actually happened in there. I just said, let's go get a drink
Right.
afterwards.
Right. So hopefully you're at least on better standing than you thought you were, and maybe you could do this. All I know is I get real nervous with that guy sleeping in our, in my wine cellar. Who knows what he could do? What if he brings some sort of his, demons or cultists or something to the house? I don't know.
I mean, if he's inside of the house, it's going to be hard for him to bring things into the house, unless, he can do, like, some sort of weird summoning stuff that we're unaware of.
Okay.
But, I mean, from what I was able to tell, he wasn't, like... Granted, I only met him, like, for a few minutes. But he didn't seem like the type to be able to, like, cast large magical spells, because if he was the type that could cast large magical spells, I'm questioning why he would be hiding in your basement.
Yeah, I mean, he's hiding from the conglomerate, so...
Well, yeah,
pretty
but
big
he
and
could
powerful.
just use a spell to, like, teleport to somewhere else if he
Right.
was...
Right, that's true.
John, out of character. So, like, if Sam was not going to tell us about his position in the Idealists, then am I right in remembering that the Archfield Manor is an Idealist place? Archfield? Am I right in remembering that? Shit, where was the other one?
So, yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Our
Lord
job.
Howland had a safe house that was Idealist. Is that true too?
Double checking.
You have great notes.
Yes, also true.
Well, one of us has to.
So those would be two places we could make contact with the Idealists potentially, right?
Potentially. However, if you're asking about specifically how to, because you obviously know the method for arranging a meeting with a member of the Mardigans. To a degree, you understand a kind of idea of how it's done with the Night Sharks. You don't really ask to meet someone, you show up at the bar, and if they want to see you, they see you. If not, they don't. And if they want to see you, they bring you to them. The Idealists, to your knowledge, it's been kind of in an aloof manner, and you don't exactly understand how meetings are set up. The only one that you've seen that's been set up is the one that just happened out of the blue to you.
So isn't this in the same district that Gareth works in? A noble district, the place where with the lighthouse restaurant?
Correct.
So do you think potentially Gareth might help us figure out the Idealist thing?
It's your call. I don't know. You can try.
Anyway, I'm throwing it out to the group. Unless Sam has a better idea because of his Idealist connection.
I mean, there's ways to set things up, but it might take a while, and stuff and things to do, people to talk to.
Well, going to see Gareth might kill two birds, Ren says, and then he looks at Gilbert because he gave Gilbert some information that he received from Gareth about people that have been asking about Gilbert.
Yeah, guess what, guys? They want my autograph. I know, it's hard to believe.
Do you want to tell them what you learned?
Oh, what you told me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I mean, since you're talking about it, it doesn't bother me. I would just say that, Ren was nice enough to share with me. Sounds like my sound is kind of weird. Does that sound like the way to you guys?
A little fuzzy, sounds like.
Should I go closer to my face with the microwave? I don't know.
It's only when you click on, click off.
Yeah, but see, I think my microphone is turning on and turning off when I'm speaking. It's on all the time. I'm not turning it on and
Don't
off.
focus on it too much.
Okay, anyways, it sounds like it's getting better. But what I would have said is that Ren told me a name of some nobles who were asking about me, and this part I don't understand, so now that we're talking about it, maybe you could explain it. You said the intentions are not clearly malicious.
Mm-hmm. So in other words, it seems like you're a noble person that a bunch of other nobles are interested in, but Gareth didn't say they're going to kill you, they're out to get you, just more like you're being asked about.
Right.
So it's a little bit unclear why they're asking about you.
Right, and these are the list of... I'll list them out to you guys, but I actually printed it out because I knew it'd be easier that way. So they are Count Gerard Steiner, Sir Alwyn Berter, Sir Sonny Ashby, Countess Mariana Carade. I don't know, these names are being butchered. Jarl Carol Riley, Baron Joan Agrad, which I'm wondering if that guy is related to the Lord Mayor of Spellmoth. No, that's his first name, Agrad Bergen. Alright, never mind. So, anyways, now that when he told me that, you know what it jarred in my mind was the fact that I was thinking that maybe we should have a party where I invite all the nobles, and then people come, we get to know them, we kind of, you guys would have to be on your best behavior, because I don't want to invite these people and have you guys be rude or something. So I hate to have to actually say that
what do you
verbally,
mean
but...
rude? What have we been fucking rude?
What the fuck do you mean?
Right.
What the
Okay,
fuck
I'm
are you
sorry.
talking about?
Too bad the other two members aren't here, although I wouldn't really worry about Rockscar. I'm not really sure about Lauren. He's kind of a wild card. So, anyways,
Vlet's standing there with just a stoic face on, like, whatever you say.
That's super polite all the time.
right. So what I actually am going to do now that you mentioned that and we're talking about it, I'm going to talk to... Who's the name of my tailor? Or who would be the one to organize a party? Who would it be?
You,
Think about this.
primarily, and then your mediator would probably be the one who kind of does the running. And then your tailor could serve as like a decorator for the party and make sure the house is tidied up, but there isn't really a person that you have under your employ who is a party planner.
What about Rolf P? He's a gnomish ambassador. He buys things.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're wanting
Oh.
specific mediation in regards to like invitations and acquisition of things for the party, he can do that, but he's not going to be your event planner. He's no Fredo.
Son of a bitch. Alright, we'll work on that. We'll workshop that later, but I want to get that planned for in the future, so we can get that done.
Might I note that if you have a lot of nobles asking about you, I don't know much about them, but just to keep in the back of our minds, this possibly maybe the Gentleman's Society trying to influence a new noble in the city?
Well, my other
Exactly
question
why we
is,
need a party.
well, I was going to say, my other question is, what about what's his name, who's like in charge of the conglomerate now and related to you apparently? Maybe they're just trying to like find out what the connection is there and what sort of influence you wield. And there's also that aspect.
There is that aspect. I would not invite the Kurgosler. I wouldn't invite the Mageir. Because I would...
Oh no, I'm not saying you invite him. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
might be something that people are curious about, and like if you do have influence with them, maybe they're going to try to influence you then to like get things that they want.
Okay, let's not tell any of them that I don't have influence with them then, because we could use that.
Right? That's a smart plan.
Don't tell him the
I'm
truth.
glad that you thought of it.
Right.
So glad it wasn't suggested.
I'm glad you didn't suggest that to me. I'll tell you one thing, guys. Now that I'm a noble, I feel like my ego needs to be stroked a little bit more. So feel free to stroke away if you want.
I'm sorry. There's only one thing that I stroke, and it's not your ego.
Okay, wait a minute. We won't go there.
Sam, would you need some personal hygiene lessons to have you have a better showing with the ladies?
What are you talking about?
Ooh.
I'm great. People love me. You wouldn't
Oh
understand.
man.
Heartless machine.
Oh, you know what else we could do with this noble house party that I'm so psyched about having is that we could find a suitable partner for me that's a noble to go to the wedding with. I mean, you guys are going as friends, or my, my group,
Entourage?
posse. Yeah, entourage. Well, but I need a date to go with too.
Medieval
So-
I
Tinder.
call dibs on being Mark Wahlberg.
So, anyways, we'll have to figure out something when we're doing this house party. You have to, talk to all the noble ladies, figure out who has a daughter who wants to go with me, blah blah blah.
I
So
will
I'm just
only
gonna-
add that whoever you choose, you might want to make sure that they are capable in a fight in case something crazy breaks out. Otherwise, there'll be someone that an additional person we will be forced to protect.
I was also going to say
That's a good
probably
point.
someone who's good at lying, because if they need to say you're pleasant company.
Oh. But psh. All
Ren
right.
says you could always ask Effie. I'm sure she would go as a friend.
Oh, true. I think Effie would look great on my arm for sure. So we'll see.
But all that aside, though, I had mentioned earlier the idea of going to see Gareth because not only might he have a connection with the Idealists, but he might also have information that you don't want to know about the nobles
Yes.
who are asking about.
Yep, that's a
It's
great
one
point.
idea, unless others have other ideas.
I do have a couple things that I wanted to have Rolf P. That's what I'm gonna call him from now on. So it's
Sure.
less, Rolf P.
You don't have to keep it denoting to it. Yeah, just call him Rolf.
The Gnomish ambassador.
Just call him Rolf.
I'm gonna ask him what. Yeah, forget about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask him to look for something for me. What I'm gonna ask him to do is take one of my stands of armor and have it see how much it would cost to create either a breastplate or preferably a half plate set. Because after that last battle where I was standing up there fighting right beside Valette, I found out I'm not really, this chain shirt, this isn't cutting it anymore. So
Rolf
I need a little bit more.
kind of looks at you like annoyed and then points to the foyer. You have plenty of sets in there. They can very quickly be
those
fashioned
fit
to
me?
you. They were made
Okay,
for
cool.
Lord Wellenbart, so they shouldn't be too hard to get changed and fixed to you.
Okay, could you arrange that for me? Like, doesn't somebody have to take my measurements and then send it and then take the piece down to the armor?
He
and
snaps
do
his
all that?
fingers 3 times. The tailor walks in. She walks over and she goes.
She's doing the measurements.
She
Yeah,
does
but-
measurements on you, and then she walks away. You hear a loud clang sound, and then you hear the old soldier who's at the front door say, "I'll help you with that, lady." And she goes, "Thank you." And then they walk out together. Him carrying the suit of armor, and her with your
Exactly.
measurements.
See that? All right, guys, but that'll help us all in the end, hopefully. What was the last thing on my list of things to do that we needed to do? So, okay. All right. So after that, that's all I know what we need to do. You guys don't all need to help me on this, but I need to organize all the crap that's in the office. I've never done that. There's a whole bunch of documents. Who knows what I'll find? Maybe I'll find spell scrolls. You never know. We just don't know. So all I'm
Yeah,
going
if
to
you
do
find
that.
any
I'll
of those,
spend
give
my-
me a call.
All right.
Come on, Gilbert. We're waiting while you're looking under the cushions of your couch.
I know, for money, right? I
So-
would do that too.
What
No,
is
okay.
our next step with our current objectives laid out for us? We have to locate, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Is it Yuki Saito or we have Yuki Saito? What are the 2 other names I have that are potentially in the city? Jane, Caitlin, and Toothpick. We've met Toothpick. We don't think he'll be much help, I bet. So it's either Jane, Caitlin, Yuki Saito, and then there's Lorenzo Damarith, but he's rumored to not be in the city. So, how shall we go about locating them for the Kengo? Because I feel like that may be our most pressing concern currently, to at least gain additional leads on that front.
Maybe if we had an investigator in our group who might be able to locate people, like who has contacts.
I mean, fine,
Uh-huh.
I'll do it if you're insisting, but
Yep.
I'm not the greatest.
Go, Sam.
Go, Sam. He's gonna let you do it now. Now you're gonna have to do it.
I love it. I love it.
So we're talking about this crap. It's evening, right? So when we're all done doing whatever we're doing, we're going to
Going to bed and waking up the next day. Yeah.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was gonna before I go to bed, I'm gonna organize that office, and then. Yeah, as far as that, how about we just talk to Ren's contacts tomorrow and see if we can find him. If not, we'll go speak with Dead, or also maybe we could go speak with Dead because we have to do that pretty quickly. Otherwise, we're gonna be in trouble.
Didn't they ask you to come to that?
I thought that meant just alone inside the building.
Along with one other party.
One other party.
Yeah,
Ooh, somebody
I
gets
think
lucky.
they wanted you to come alone, as in not with many other people.
Okay, maybe we could split up then. And whoever you guys think I should bring. I mean, if I had to pick, I would probably pick Ren or Valette or.
I believe you've already told them that Ren would be coming.
Ah, okay. So Ren, see, you got lucky there with that one, Ren. You're right. Good thing you're paying attention. All right, that's what we'll do then. Anything else? Any airing of grievances?
No, I think we should go on to the feats of strength.
Okay, feats of strength. That's the best part of what was that?
Festivus.
Festivus. That's it. Feats of strength, airing of grievances. It's awesome.
So you're going to bed and waking up the next day, is that right?
Yep. Guys,
Actually,
change out.
current plan is, I don't think that there was anything else that we were.
Okay.
Was there anything else major that we had going on that we needed to do today? I don't think there was.
You're cutting out, Matt.
I was just asking if there was anything else major that we needed to do today, but I don't think there was. I just want to double check my notes. Doesn't look like I have anything. Okay. Yeah, so bed sounds fine. I go through my nightly routine.
Which is
Set up alarm.
Oh shit.
Put on my ridiculous helmet.
what?
Nothing.
Well, that sounded bad.
Could have been bad.
Gambling.
Alright, guys.
Ooh, that's really bad. Anyway. Yeah, keep going.
Alright.
Sorry, stalling a bit.
Well, we take a long rest, and I cast a second level spell on Valette in the morning. Because apparently we haven't fixed that yet.
Oh yeah, we definitely have to fix that, man.
Yeah, I know, because I'm going in one spell down every single day.
Yeah.
Nobody like my suggestion.
What was
What
your
is your
suggestion?
suggestion?
If there's no Undaunted, there's no spy in Undaunted head. Yes.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not against that. But some people.
Hell yeah, PvP, let's go.
Hey, Zach.
What up? Y'all
Hop
missing?
in.
Oh.
Alright.
I believe someone summarized what was going on in there.
So, and the other things were, just to summarize as well, besides the planning a party for nobles, re-emphasizing the fact that we need to make contact with the idealists. Everyone's been hinting, Sam, can you try and work on that? Because we know nothing about his current position. Sam also offered to investigate to find out more about the 2 targets that the Kengo want us to find, since what's-his-name is dead. And he offered that,
I mean,
and Ren didn't say anything. Ren and Gilbert are going to be heading back so that Gilbert and Cass speak with Dead for the Kengo, keep them happy in the meantime while we find the others.
I mean, to be fair, Ren might be busy while we're trying to find that stuff anyway, so. Like, if we want to do some investigating while he and Gilbert are talking with Dead.
And Vlett also suggested that all these nobles that want to speak to Gilbert might possibly be part of the Gentleman's Society. No basis,
Right.
but they're all nobles.
And I mentioned they might be trying to get close to him in case they want to get close to the Kurgosler in the conglomerate.
So, 2 possible
Just to see
theories.
how close of a relationship he has.
Anyway.
Long rest.
Okay.
Full health.
You wake up in the morning, and Lord Kurgosler, there's a knock on your door as you're basically getting situated.
Alright, I'd come down and...
Not on the door of the house, on the door of your bedroom.
Oh, door my bedroom. Okay. All right. I would say, well, if I would be decent, I'd say, come on in.
Rolf enters in.
Yes.
Lord, your armor has been made ready. It's downstairs in the front room. Also, I have notation. Here is the contract from Val Mardigan.
Contract. Oh, did he want us to sign that? I'm gonna have to ask other guys that
What?
if you remember. Was that the one that Val Mardigan?
Are you doing this openly, or are you thinking in your head?
I'm thinking in my head, but I'll have to go down and ask one of these guys because Kevin does not remember what exactly I was supposed to do. I know what he. Oh, I remember what he asked. It had to do with, like he said he would give me the warehouse for the Night Sharks if I wanted to, but he would rather be involved in something. So what I would like to do is have him involved in getting more people. So that's my play. So what do I do with the contract? Do I like not sign it or sign it but in a different spot?
Are you asking aloud to Rolf, or are you just?
I'm gonna read it, see if it says on
Okay.
there.
All the contract seems to be is the deed to the warehouse.
Oh, that's all it is. Okay, well that's cool. I'll hang on to it then, and then I'll talk to my friends here.
He
and
made
hopefully
sure-
remember what happened.
He made sure for me to tell you that it was
Yeah.
being granted in good faith.
Right. I understand. Thank you, Rolf.
He walks away.
All right, excellent. So
That means
is
you
it-
owe him.
means I owe him. Yeah, I wouldn't think that, but I probably do. I would think, well, I'm a noble now. People just do things for
He
me.
stated that explicitly.
Yeah, I know. He did when we went out. Right.
Even in character, you would
In
understand
character,
that.
he
Is
did,
my
right.
point. Like in character,
I
he
don't know.
explicitly stated that to Gilbert. That like you're gonna owe me a favor if you sign this contract.
Right. Which I haven't signed it yet, but I don't know.
So,
I can't remember if I'm supposed
if
to sign
you-
it or not supposed to sign
If
it.
you peruse the deed of the house, what you are noting is that there is no signature for the owner of this warehouse. It's not signed. This appears to be a blank deed to that piece of realty. If you sign off on it, you own it, and you think that's what he means by you signing it. The second you take control of the house, you're effectively taking the deal.
Right. Let me think on this. I'll, fold it up, put it in my possession, and talk to my friends about it. What sort of armor did I get? Is it breastplate or is it half?
Half plate.
Ooh, that's the best. All right, cool. I can't sneak around now, guys, but all right, excellent.
To be
I'm
fair,
Um,
we weren't able to sneak around that much.
Actually, Gilbert, when you start to set up the armor and kind of get used to it, you note that it is actually made out of mithril, so it does not affect your ability to sneak.
That's
Or
pretty
lack
awesome. Or lack thereof. Thanks a lot.
I mean, to be fair, I can't sneak that well either. So.
Yeah. All right, so I'd go down and get breakfast and talk with the guys, ask them how they slept, all that good stuff. Right?
Yeah. You guys are the guys.
All right, that's you guys.
Oh, great, thanks.
Villette doesn't respond because Villette doesn't sleep.
Oh, true. You can make something up for us. All right. I would say when we get down there, hey, everybody, I got the deed for the warehouse. It's delivered today. Now, I guess if I sign it, then I owe him a favor, but we could have the Night Sharks go in there, Or what I'd rather do, though, is hang on to it for now and see if we can get him to get Val Mardigan to get all the other gangs together, and that way we have a bigger coalition. We'll owe him if I do that, anyways. But I'd
I
rather go that route.
believe you are proposing self-defeating prophecy. There is no way for him to get Night Sharks on board if Night Sharks don't have warehouse, and if you don't have them warehouse, then they don't get on board. You are setting yourself up for failure, little one.
Do you guys agree with that? I mean, it sounds logical.
That was one of their stipulations they placed.
Okay. I'll have to sign this then, but I'm gonna think about it just another day, just in case something changes. You never know. But that's a good plan.
Sam, are you under the effects of a silence spell?
Sorry, I thought I was muted and I was unmuted.
Nice.
Got it back. Anyway, so my question is, basically, was there a time limit time you had to do this actually, or like, was it just free range, get it done when you do, or is it one of those things where like, if you don't get this done in a certain amount of time, we'll break your legs and kill your mom?
Well, yeah, I kind of think it's the latter, but they didn't really give me a set time. But I think the longer I wait, the more it's going to become like that. So, yeah, obviously I don't want to wait too long.
Yeah. I'm just, thinking, having dealt with people like this before,
Yeah.
they're not big on, like, waiting around.
Yep, that's a very good
Speaking
point.
of not waiting around, keep the booze in this house.
It's down in the cellar.
Are you going to check on
Right, I'll be
Adams,
back.
Gilbert?
I'd like to. Why don't you guys come
Start
with me?
heading towards the basement.
Okay.
We follow.
Did anyone bring food? Because if no one brought food, then I'm gonna grab food.
Grab some food. There should
I
be
honestly forgot that Adams was in the basement at this point, so...
Didn't you instruct your servants to feed him?
some. Yep, he should still have all those supplies he needs to keep up his ritual, because I didn't want to invite him into the house.
Yeah.
That's why I really want to get rid of him, by having him actually make a deal with the idealists or whoever.
Right.
As you're walking towards the
Okay.
stairs, out from downstairs comes one of the soldiers holding a tray that looks like it had food on it, but it's been the food's been devoured. He walks past you.
Is that our unwanted guest in the cellar's food?
This plate from last night, my lord. Yes,
Okay. Is everything all right down there?
he seems fine. I guess he was yelling at me, telling me, "Where's that Lord Kurgosler? Where's that member of the conglomerate? I want to get out of here. I want to get on that railroad."
Okay.
It appears he's going a little stir crazy.
Yes, it does. Well, let's go down and talk with him real quick, just to see what his state of mind is.
Do you need me to accompany you, my lord? The soldier says.
Actually, I don't want to overwhelm him, so I think we'll be all right. I'm going down with a bunch of these guys, right? Now, is everybody
Oh,
coming with
okay.
me so we can all talk to him?
I'd like to hear, so sure.
Yeah, so at least Ren and Valette. I don't know about Sam and Lauren. They're invited, but if they
I'm
don't want
going
to come...
down for booze. Of course
Yeah.
I'll be down
Oh,
there.
okay. You never know what might happen. A fight could break out. That's why it might be good for everybody to go, but we'll see. We'll go down there anyways. Whoever wants to go is down. So I'm not sure about you and Lauren. Everybody else sounds like they're going.
Okay, you guys go down into the basement, and where you left him, Jacob Adams sits in his ritual circle, looking up at you,
Yeah.
eating some food. Looks like he's drinking some milk, and he looks up to you and says, is he here? Are we ready to go?"
I hate to say we're not ready to go yet, but we are working on it.
Damn it. What's taking so long? What's the holdup?
Well, what can I say? Rastakar wasn't built in a day.
True. You're right. Okay.
Well, it's going to take a little bit of time. Trust me, I want you out of here as much as you want out of here.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, yeah, I'm good. I'm just hopeful that you I'm hopeful that you can get this sorted.
I think we can. We will let you know.
How quickly do we believe we can make contact with the conglomerate on his behalf? I
He
posed the
doesn't want-
question to the group.
In front of
No,
him.
he does not want to go to the conglomerate.
Or not the conglomerate, I mean the idealists. My bad. I meant
Exactly.
the idealists.
Right.
Because whole
And yeah, Yen Lorne gives him that look that you're in front of him implied. What are you doing?
It's a hell of
This
a-
is not the time or the place, Valet. Aren't you a professional operator and we're standing in front of essentially a prisoner?
Black
What's
doesn't
wrong
really
with
care
you?
for the guy and wouldn't mind if the guy got a little antsy and ran off on its own and got caught.
Yeah.
She doesn't like the
That
whole
would be
demon
bad
thing. She
for
doesn't
us.
voice it.
Because there's only one thing he can say is that he was hiding in the basement. You think they're not going to
Right.
torture that shit out of him?
So part of the thinking too is that when you don't give people any information, this is out of character, but when you don't give people any information, their mind can wander. If you can give them a structured, rough timetable of they can at least look forward to that moment, and then if you don't meet that moment, they get even crazier. But at least
Absolutely.
it keeps them a little more under wraps. So the idea is,
But then Lauren's
giving him a rough
face says, "You just showed him our whole hand because you just asked when are we going to get in contact, and we don't know. Like, I don't have an answer for that. No one here is ready for this cover story. We didn't discuss this. Like, what are you
Lauren,
doing?"
you're gonna charisma lie.
Yeah, Sam just shrugs.
Adams doesn't seem too terribly put off by it. He does strangely look at Valette when she dips the Freudian slip of her old job. Let's chuck him in a black cell. That'll be fine. But no, yeah. Other than that, he doesn't seem to care.
All right. How about this? We'll touch base with you after today, and we are looking into it. So,
Look. Here's the situation, okay? I'm gonna be down here for either the rest of my life or until you get me out. You said you wanted me to get out of here.
Yeah.
Then make it happen. No rush.
I mean, to be fair, we could just make the rest of your life really short if you want.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I remember at the beginning of this, I said do that. I would rather have that happen than being turned over to the conglomerate.
Right. Well, like I said, after today, we will talk with you again. Hopefully, we'll have good news and, let you know how things are going.
Very good.
Hang in there, buddy. Wait, I didn't say the buddy part. I just said hang in there.
All right.
Yeah, no, you totally said that, and then you said, I didn't say buddy, I said hang in.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
Gilbert-
redacted it.
Gilbert's
I
gonna be one of
redacted
those
my own
bosses that hangs up motivational posters all around the house,
Exactly. That's me.
just right in front of the door for him. It's that cat hanging on the branch.
Hang in there.
Hang in there.
Hang in there. All right, cool. All right, cool. Now we're headed out. So guys, to me it makes most sense. We go upstairs. It makes most sense if I just go straight to do the speak with dead stuff, get the crappy shit over with, and then I'll meet up with you. You guys could do whatever. Hopefully, figure out, our solutions to all our problems.
Yeah, we'll see if we can find what are we looking for again?
Locations of the
Right,
two
those
people.
for Dermot. Right.
Yeah.
Ren, do you have any good ideas of what might be good places to look, seeing as you were and still are an investigator?
Are we looking for what?
We're looking for information on the location of the still living contacts of Hugo Demont. Because Kengo also want them in addition to the spell.
John, would I know that?
The location of Hugo. What?
No.
Contact,
I'm
living
asking-
contacts of.
No, I'm asking him for does he have good ideas of where to start looking?
You were
Like-
told where to start looking in one of the instances regarding the people in the folio. It's in the folio.
We have her address.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought we went there though and we didn't have any luck.
No, you went to go hang out with Toothpick, and he told you stop coming around here. Those weird people are coming around here. The Remix.
And that sent us straight to Gilbert's apartment building.
Yeah,
Okay.
Right.
and that's where you had the fight with the Remick family, and then you also
Right.
had the issue with the conglomerate.
So the only other one that we don't have any idea about might be here is Psycho Yuki, where she's just rumored to be in the city.
Right. But then you also had was it Caitlin?
Caitlyn Jane or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I have the thing right here. Yeah, Jane Caitlyn, or Caitlyn Jane.
Jane Caitlin.
So I guess we can start look up her while you guys do that, and then we can figure out the Yuki Saito. issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That sounds like a plan. Do you want to take your car, or do we want to walk? I don't think we can walk where we're going.
I
Can we,
want
Ren?
to. I want to practice driving my car really slowly.
That would be awesome. We can get in front of some
And
young
get
kids
better at it.
and just do that.
It's like
I wanna wear my armor.
it's like Ren's like driving real slow, ooh, and Yen Lauren's like Ghost Ride the whip, just jumps out the side, just like I'm already good at this.
I just stepped into a car and I'm a natural. What do you want from me?
Make sure you
So
wear a
my
hat.
question is Sam going to ride on the back of Villette's steed then? You know, like you be the Fabio and I'll be the like scantily clad woman in the background.
Except
Insert other female model.
except gender swapped.
Kevin,
Yeah.
have you made it known that you are able to cast Find Steed?
I don't think I have, but I would have told you guys that. Yeah, I guess I would have eventually. Yeah. Like
Okay.
Maybe last time we were at the house. I don't know.
And
Good.
if you cast it, could someone else ride that horse, or do you have to be the rider of it?
Well, I think the way my spell works is the horse only listens to me.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking. I could probably let somebody else ride it, but yeah, I would have a connection to it. But I mean, I could cast it and we could ride a horse over there and leave the car for you guys if that's what you're getting at, because there's only two
No.
of us.
I was thinking we could
yeah.
take 2 horses, and you guys could
Oh.
take the car.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't know. I would have to ask the
Which Ren wants to
DM.
drive.
It'd be a lot easier for them to take 2 horses and
Yeah,
us
just
to,
read your
Yeah.
spell.
than for him to give us the
Granny
magic
drive.
horse. Because if the magic horse
Yeah.
dies on the way there, like then one of us is stuck walking back.
I'll cast
The
it
whole
and-
reason is Valette wants to have her horse ready in case we have to fight. So I
Yeah.
want to be near my horse. And Ren wants to drive his
Why
car.
don't you two go off and do the horse, and Yen Lauren will find something to do.
Why don't
Because
you
we
assist
specifically told
Ren
the
on
king-
driving the car?
How far away is the licensing office from here? Can I go get a performance license with my free time I've been granted by Lord Cumguzzler?
Yeah.
That's a thing.
I didn't hear.
Alderek
that
is where
stupid
you would get the license. The castle, the main capital building.
Is it within walking distance?
So on the map you can see that it's.
Oh no, I'll take a trolley there. Y'all figure out your own ways.
So you're talking about a driving license?
No, performance
No,
license.
What is-
performance license.
Oh, I see. I thought you were gonna be like Baby Driver.
Now, do you remember that
Oh.
perfect distraction that I almost
Mhm.
pulled off but couldn't
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I didn't have that fucking paperwork?
That was awesome.
Next
I'm
time.
gonna make it a lot easier.
Heart attack.
Okay, so Yen Lauren, you are heading to Alderek. Okay, and then who is the horse brigade going to Sunpike?
That would be to go to talk to speak with Dad. Right?
Oh, sorry, no, I apologize. You are going to Warehouse 123. So who are you taking with you?
Okay, right. I don't know. Did we determine I was going to take the car with
You're
Ren?
taking Ren.
All right. Yeah, we're going in the car with Ren. Yep.
So therefore, the horse brigade is going to Sunpike at 313C Abbey Way to go find Jane Caitlin.
So we're splitting the party in 3 ways. Oh, this is great. Let's do it.
Oh,
I mean,
because
to
Zach's
be
doing his
fair,
own
it's
thing?
not like it's
Or
the
Yen
first
Lauren?
time that we split the party. Yeah, Yen
Zach's
Lauren's
doing
gonna
his
get a
own thing.
performance
Go
license.
figure.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm going to go do the boring paperwork stuff that Kevin normally does.
Right.
Yeah, that's how you get houses and stuff, though. You know, right? You have to put in the
Okay.
time.
Endermon will stay with Broxgar at the house. He seems very invested in his studies, and he focuses on them. Okay, who wants to go first?
Doesn't
I'll
matter to
go
me.
first.
All right. You start to move towards Alderek, and you've been here before, or you've seen here before. I don't think you were actually with Gilbert when he went into court, were you?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So you start to approach, and a couple of the yellow caps kind of stop you. Halt.
Yes.
identification and invitation? Do you have a specific place you're going? We don't think we've seen you around here.
Oh, no. I start to pull out my papers, and as I'm handing them to him, is a guard tell me I need performance license to tell my stories to the little children.
It's accurate. Are you a resident of Old Rostikar Borough?
At the moment, yes.
All right. Well, as long as you have proof of your residency, at least one letter that you've received at that location, or you have your identification papers, you should be able to deal with the courts. Looks over to one of the other guards, one of the obviously younger guards, and kind of like raises his hand and gestures like this. The guy wanders over, like full, military posture, and kind of like not a salute, but places his hand on his chest, and he says,
and this guard, his name is Jacques. He work over in oh God, where was it? That was in Smellmoth, right?
"Okay,
He say mention his name for some reason.
you know Jock, huh? Okay,
Dude, he tell me now that we friends, he like my story. He want me to tell my story
You
to other
s-
people.
you see him looking at you very interestedly, but like still performing business with his hand, and he idly like shoos away the guy. He says, "I'll take you to the court myself. Let's go."
Oh, much kindness, thank you.
The young kid doesn't know what's going on and just kind of like wanders back over to his post. The older guard here, the leader of the guards, kind of as he moves away, a younger like individual kind of takes his place, and he starts leading you into the Capitol building, a huge, massive fortification constructed hundreds of years ago, hundreds and hundreds, almost a millennia ago. But still as beautiful and well kept as it was the day the last stone was settled. You see lots of people in finery, kind of walking past you, of all types, lots and lots of different creatures. And you see a contingent of creatures that you probably have never seen in your entire life. They're blue-skinned humanoids, very similar in kind to merfolk. However, they don't have the head tails of the merfolk. And besides the blue coloration of skin, they don't really have many features that would denote them as being like an amphibious creature or anything to that effect. They're very tall, and what appears to be the leader of them has 4 arms. Very strange-looking creatures, and they seem to be very out of town. Like they don't belong here at all. Certainly not at all. Their fashion is just awkward to you. Well, probably not to you. Kind of fashion different, very brightly colored individual. They appear to be wearing like a lot of blues and golds. Anyway, just something that catches your eye as you're led into the court areas. He walks over to an attendant and he says to the individual he walks up to, he says, "My Lord Brant, this young man, he wished to get a performer's license, and I want to make sure that he's taken extra special care of, so I brought him to you. So you're one of the finest." He kind of nods his head and waves the guard away. The guard kind of looks to you and says, "You're in good hands," and walks away. Yeah, name, papers, come on, get them out, and kind of gestures to the
Thank
desk. Slides them over to him, kind of starts looking at them. "What's your residence? I don't see any residents here."
I am currently staying at the oh God, does the estate have a name? No, the Kurt Gosler residence.
Gilbert Kergosler? Or...
Correct.
Oh.
He recently moved into a new home and has invited me to stay with him.
Yeah, I was basically responsible for him having that house. He kind of nods his head. Did most of the paperwork. You're getting a performer's license? Are you serving him as some sort of entertainer? Is he planning on throwing some sort of gala or something?
That is correct. We are working on putting together a new housewarming party.
Have the invitations gone out? I haven't received one.
The early planning. If I can't get performance license, then we may not have party.
Oh, I see. So this is very important. All right.
So awesome.
He very quickly scrolls through a bunch of documents. He slides you 2 pieces of paper kind of early on. It says sign here and sign here. Do you have a signet or a stamp? Or an arcane mark? He kind of looks at you slyly.
I'm assuming that I would have some kind of arcane mark,
Can
right?
you cast the spell Prestidigitation?
Yeah.
Then you have an arcane mark. Yeah. Please denote it here, and kind of gestures, at a specific location on a blank piece of paper.
I do so.
Okay. The second the mark appears on the paper, the page fills with just text, and it's small text, very tiny, just legalese, and you kind of go, oh, and you kind of look at it, and you realize basically what it's saying is by signing this paper with your mark, you have denoted that you are not a renegade mage, and basically through the whole conglomerate spiel of, you recognize conglomerate law, you are licensed, da 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 da, and you're like, yeah, okay.
Which I am.
Yep. And he slides that aside and goes, very interesting. We haven't had a licensed mage come through here in quite some time. The last one who entered into the city only did this as a formality. He shuffles through some more papers, takes a couple more notes, and at the end of it, he slides over a piece of paper, which is kind of like harder stock. It has a yellow wax seal on it, which has kind of brown wax set into it, which has the bear symbol of Rostagar. And in big letters at the top it says, hear ye, the licensee holding this document. And then it kind of goes into smaller text. And then at the bottom is a place for your signature. And then just below that is, in his pen, you saw him write it, your name in print.
I'll mark that as.
All right. That's all. You were there for like 30 minutes once you got at the desk. And he says, can you do me a favor?
Of course.
Yeah, I have a friend, an associate, who's really interested in having supper with Lord Kurgosler. I planned on going to send him a notice and have a courier deliver a message, but since you're already here and I've done you such a kindness, he smiles. If you could just tell Lord Kurgosler when you next see him, since you are living at his estate, that I would like to have supper with him, and I have a very special guest I would like to invite to meet him.
And is there address and name that I can send this to?
Oh, we would have it at his house, of course. That was the intent.
I don't believe I have. Where can I send
Oh,
it to contact you, my
I'm
friend?
so
after I tell him and he says, "Sure, I have friends over." How I tell you, he say yes. I come back here.
I was only addressed as you only heard my name, and I'm sorry you may not have taken it down. I apologize. I'm Lord
Thank you.
Brand.
Consider it done.
Thank you. And he goes about his business, basically just ignores you and goes off camera like I did. Okay.
Fuck yeah, let's do this.
Next up, who wants it next?
You want to go for it?
Yeah, sure.
Let's-
You lead on.
Did I
If
see a
this is
hand
your
raised?
thing, I'm just driving.
Matt, did you raise your hand?
Huh?
No,
Will you-
I shrugged.
Oh, okay. I thought you were raising your hand.
All right.
All right.
Feel free to go if you.
Okay, so you guys head down to Bearport and down to Warehouse 123. You get there. You see it just as you left it. After dealing with some shenanigans, you actually still see bits of flesh from the Goliaths that you decimated on the streets still lying about.
Ew.
Doesn't look like anybody's really passed through these parts, and you basically park in the same exact spot. Head up to the door and knock.
Yep. Knock, knock, knock. knock. Knock, knock, 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 knock. Is there any way for them to see out? Are there many like windows or anything?
Pretty sure that's not the way you get in.
How did we get in last time? Somebody let us in, didn't they?
It's correct.
All right, we'll just wait for a minute. Do you remember what we had to do?
I'm loving Tim right now.
Oh, who has that damn? I think Ren has the thing. The little,
What thing?
That we have to call him on the communicator.
I don't have the communicator.
Oh, that's right. I have it. Because I think
You were the one who could cast the spell. They gave it to you as you were leaving.
The absent-minded gnome.
exactly. I'm like the absent-minded professor. All right, I'm gonna have to start wearing like an old man hat and stuff going around. You know what it is? I think it's this half plate's a little too tight. So
Yeah, that
sure.
makes sense.
That makes
Affects
sense.
the oxygen to your brain.
Exactly. It's cutting off the oxygen to my brain. All right, so I would call on the communicator. I'd be like, "This is Gilbert Krogosler. Over."
Oh no! The second you turn on the communicator, you hear a voice on the other side say nothing." Are you outside knocking on the door? Answer.
Yes.
You hear an audible sigh from the other side of the phone. Then the phone, or the communicator. The communicator clicks off, and then shortly thereafter you hear a series of unlocks, and then the door opens. You see the gentleman that you've met before in the past walk you to the other door. The light goes off, and he leads you into the White Room. The White Room smells a bit different this time around. It smells like very pungent incense, and you can see that the body of Hugo is still laying out on the table where you left it. It hasn't been moved, but a series of small incense burners have been kind of set around him and have been lit. He kind of moves to the corner, says something in Sheenese, and then you hear the humming sound, and then you hear kind of everything go, quiet. And he says over the disembodied voice says, "On with it."
All right. I would I guess since we have incense, we're good because we need burning incense to do this. And I would take my 10 minutes to set up, do the ritual, set it up, do all that fun stuff. And then I would say, as I'm getting close to finishing, I'd say, we're getting close to finishing this ritual. Do you have your questions prepared? Because you will have 3 questions.
Do
Am I
you?
right?
To the disembodied voice says, "Do you need to be in the room when I ask these questions?"
I think I do, don't I? Let me see the spell.
Just say yes. He can't prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why?
Does the elf
Yeah.
need to be in the room when these spells cast?
What elf?
Can he? He's talking about you, Ren. Can he put like
I know.
cotton in his ears so he doesn't hear the questions? As a matter of fact,
You feel a very stern hand on your shoulder, Ren, and the gentleman who led you in kind of looks at you as you turn to look back at him. "Come on," and gestures towards the door.
Ren says, "Fine."
all
Right.
right. If you hear me scream, you know there's a problem. Otherwise, we're good.
You step outside. The door closes behind you, and you can see that it kind of just, as you saw before, kind of feels like you're kind of alone and nobody's with you. From the disembodied voice, once you finish casting the spell, he says,
All right.
"Where is the horse?" As him asking the question does not work, you repeat the question
Right.
to the corpse.
And we get 5 questions too. I told him the wrong amount, so I would correct myself. So I would say, where is the horse?
The corpse says, "In the ports. I sold it to a pirate girl."
Okay, then I would look to the guy for the other question.
"What's the pirate girl's name?"
What is the pirate girl's name?
"Lena. I never caught her surname."
last name.
Agreed. Where's Lorenzo? He's in the city. He kind of says over the thing, are they allowed to ask vaguely? To you, he's asking. And he asks, are they allowed to ask vaguely?
He's not lying, so I believe he is allowed to do that. Is there any way you could narrow it down?
Where in the city of Rostagar is Lorenzo? Alderac.
Take notes.
You hear, interesting. Last question. Where is Saito Yuki? I do not know. And the corpse falls limp. You watch as the glass mirror kind of just starts rippling like water, and out from it comes a man, just coming out of it. Older, definitely of Saryujan descent. He has like salt and pepper in his beard, and on the sides of his head. He's wearing very bright purples and oranges, kimono, and he has a very ornate looking sword set at his hip. But he's wearing very traditional Saryujan attire, nothing modern, nothing too upbeat, just a kimono, obi, and coat over, known as a haori. And he starts approaching over to you, and he says, "Did you find Saito Yuki?"
We have not found him yet, but we are looking.
You mean her?
Yes. That's exactly what I meant. Sorry.
I don't see gender.
He looks to you. And what of his contacts besides? Have you met with them yet?
Wait, what I remember, I don't think we have met with any of them, have we?
We met with Toothpick, that was it, and
Oh.
Toothpick was useless.
Right. We met with Toothpick, he was useless.
Do you think that you and your group can quietly and without notice go to Bearport, find this pirate girl Lena, and recover the horse? Or no?
I think it would be possible. I can't guarantee it, though.
I will draw attention if I step outside of this building. Merely just stepping out the door will bring eyes to me. I cannot do this thing, although I do wish it. I need to make something very, very, very clear to you. And I must have your understanding. Like a blur of shadow, he darts straight towards you and grapples at your neck. If you wish to resist his grapple, you can make an athletics or acrobatics
Nope.
check.
Nope, I'm gonna let him do it.
He takes you up into the air. You're now a good 4 or 5 feet off of the ground and kind of presses you against the wall and kind of like moves in with a very unnatural strength. Like he looks like a very lithe, older gentleman, but he seems to be moving with like a power that's immense. And once he has you against the wall, he says, "Do not kill the pirate girl that was mentioned, and do not let the horse die either. I want both of them living and brought back to me. Do you understand?"
Yes.
He sets you down, brushes your shoulders off, and kind of like, make sure your hair is back to Kent. And he says, "Thank you. You have been nothing but exemplary, except for that one mistake." He walks back towards the wall, and the rippling effect begins, and he steps through it. You hear him saying something in Chinese. The door opens up, and Ren and the other gentleman enter back in. The communicator should be fine for another couple of days, says the man, who's there present. Whatever he told you to do, be on with it.
then I would bow, because that's probably a Sarayuvan thing, right?
Yeah.
Bow to him, and then I would go with Ren and take off.
Okay. Yeah, they let you leave.
So as they're walking out, Ren would take out his notebook and say, "Tell me exactly what he said," and he would copy it all down.
Right, exactly.
Once you get
And
into the
then
car.
I would say, Ren, do you think you and I should try to go do this? I think we could do this without fighting or anything. Or do you think we should get the others?
No,
Because who knows
no.
where they are?
No, I don't think so.
Alright.
That's not a good idea. I think this Lena is going to be tougher than we imagined.
Cut.
Well,
From-
I think we
oh.
have to talk with her. We can't fight her. We definitely don't want to kill her. So, okay, but we'll get everybody. That sounds like a good idea. All right.
Smash cut.
Yep. Cut to the guys who are chasing folks in Sunpike. You guys are riding your horses. You're definitely getting a lot of attention. Because not often do people ride horses. And the very next thing you notice is
Where'd
that
you get some coconuts from?
you guys are in Sunpike, which you've never been there before. The main thing that kind of dominates your gaze upwards as you're kind of approaching and crossing the bridge to get to Sunpike is the namesake, the Pharos of Rostagar. It's a massively tall tower, and at the top of it appears to be just a burst of just white-hot radiance. It's the lighthouse of the main lighthouse of the coastal city. Where do you go? Looking for the address, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Okay. As the name denotes, it is, I believe it was 212C, right?
313C Abbey Way.
Correct. So you find Abbey Way, and you find 313, and you note that there are, it's basically two doors next to each other, one with an A above it, and one with a B above it. At this point, I would like for you both to make an Arcana check.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, is there an illusion going on?
Intelligence?
Intelligence Arcana, yes.
Also, if it's illusion based, would I get advantage?
It's not illusion based.
I got a 20.
20 is really
24.
good. Okay. You're both very aware of the conglomerate's tricks to make sure more people can fit in places that they're not normally allotted. There are no elevators in this building, but as you look up, you can see that it's a lot bigger than what you would denote from just two doors. Otherwise, these people are living in some quite crazy luxury. The truth of it is Villette would know from having been in one of these places, and you would know, Sam, from having kind of thought about blowing one up, is that the doors, just a little bit, the doors basically are keyed to the person's key. So when someone walks up to the door and puts their key in it, it changes from A to whatever letter they are. And then when they open the door, it leads into their apartment. So they could be on the 26th floor, that means they're Z. And so on. So the doors basically shift to what you are. And the reason for there being two doors is one's an exit and one's an entrance.
You always come out of B, and A becomes whatever you're...
Correct. B becomes what you come out of, and A becomes what you're going into. But
okay.
as a preset, A and B are basically, A is the, I'm showing you what the apartments look like, the showroom gallery,
Yeah.
and B is actually the office space for the people who actually run the apartment.
So
Okay.
Are there like a set of, like, you know, little bells that we can ring for the different apartments?
There are actually bells on either door. The bell that is on the door A is kind of set next to like a metal plaque that's on the center of the door. The plaque being completely barren of any writing or anything like that. But with your 24, Sam, you actually note that there is writing on it. It's arcane writing. It's very, very, very fine. And you would note that it is a kind of illusion spell that hasn't been activated yet. and you would kind of understand what it is with that higher roll too. Basically, once you ring on the door, a similar panel in an apartment can be used to basically display the person who's on the other side, so you can see who's on who, to either end. So like it's a viewing screen.
Right.
I guess it'd be more of a divination spell, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. You hear a disembodied voice speak from the panel. Letter.
C, please.
You hear a dude, dude, and then the metal kind of changes shape to reveal a woman. Very she's just very normal and kind of plain looking, and she just looks kind of annoyed from what you can see of her, and she says, "Can I help you?"
Hi, yes. We're from. Insert the name of the bureau that
We're here to
handles
fix your-
wills.
We're here to fix your pipes.
What did you just say to me?
Pipes. We heard there's something wrong with your pipes in your apartment. The landlord sent us over to fix them.
You obviously are an imbecile and are trying to pull one over on me. Very nice attempt, but anyone who understands, this is not how the process works. So apologies, but good day. And it just goes back to a solid steel plate.
Sam, can you please think before you speak sometimes?
You were saying insert name here.
I was. You know what the fuck I was doing. Alright. Well, head on back. I'll take care of some errands
What?
while
We're
I'm
giving
here
up?
and.
He's trying to get you away from him so he can try and ring it again. Well, it's like, I'll just talk to her.
It
myself.
appears that we've been foiled. Because obviously, posing as plumbers won't work and there's nothing better we can try.
Right, fine.
Valette leaves the scene. She, like, walks around the corner so she's out of sight.
The face appears again. What do you want?
Alright, so yeah, not here to fix the plumbing, but do
No
need to talk
shit.
to you about something. Yeah, fine, whatever.
Talk?
Anyway, need to talk to you about something. Hugo.
What did you just say?
I said Hugo. Dermot.
Yeah. Come on up. You see the letter
Right.
change shape, and it becomes the letter C.
Do I see Valette anywhere near me?
I'm just around the corner from the door, so I couldn't be seen by the view display.
Okay, well,
Do I hear it, John?
I walk
I don't
in
know,
the
do
door
you?
since I don't see her.
I mean, I'm guessing it's not that far. Like, I'm maybe a
Yeah.
couple feet away, right? Yeah, so I just round the corner and start walking up.
Okay. You both go
I
in?
walk in.
Okay. So basically, you walk into an apartment. She's kind of standing in the foyer of this apartment, and it's pretty decent size and very open plan. And she lets you in. She's wearing very formal attire, and she looks very different compared to what she looked like on the display. She is actually very beautiful. But you do note that she's wearing a lot of devices, especially on her left arm, which appears to be completely synthetic. It's not a real arm that she has. And she looks to you and says, "Close the door."
I close it.
What do you know about Hugo? Understand that the room is currently set to detonate. If you try anything funny, she raises her hand up. All I have to do is close this fist.
Good to know. So, what do we know about Hugo besides, the fact that he's dead?
Yeah, I know. He had a run-in with some pretty bad parties. he was dealing with the Kengo, and he was dealing with a pretty notorious group, the Wild Ones, and well, he's just getting into some bad things. Is that all you have? You just came here to let me know he died?
Alette, I don't know what questions to ask because it's your department. Tim?
There are some belongings that need to be. No, wait. What am I saying?
I don't know.
What?
are you saying?
So out of character. So you don't remember either what exactly they needed to know from her? Or I guess we could ask about the nature of if she knew any more about his dealings. Maybe try and get some more information about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you're
I feel like
basically
I was hoping.
trying to form your question, she kind of walks away from you, walks over to a counter, pulls up a crystal bottle and starts pouring beverage into a very fine-looking glass. And she looks over to Sam and says, "Drink?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure you don't want one." And she says, it's like curiously at you. She hands
Yep.
you a glass.
Anyway, so we were wondering, like, when was the last time you'd actually talked to Hugo?
Not too long ago.
You have any idea of some of the things that he was up to, as you were saying?
I know that there was a family from out of town that was interested in meeting with him. He had some sort of deal, but based on what he was saying, he was going to double cross them and try and sell the horse to a higher bidder after taking their money.
That doesn't seem like the most wise of ideas or plans.
Well, I'm sure if the Remics got a hold of him, they'd cut him into pieces and serve him to the horses they have remaining on their land. And if the Kengo got a hold of him, they would do worse.
So, what's the special thing about these horses?
It's just one horse. If someone of an arcane nature is able to see this horse and also see the documents that were used to create the creature, they could potentially create horses whole cloth from nothing, pretty much. As I'm sure you are aware, the horse population in the province of Rostakar is quite lessened since the Pod War. It's never really recovered.
So basically, this could be a nice way to make a small mint.
Yeah, a lot of devices and things have basically replaced the need of them. But there are some people on the outsides of larger cities who would pay everything they could for such beasts of burden, because others have not been able to fill the space that they have left.
Right. Do you have any questions? He looks over at Willette.
Do the names Yuki Saito or Lorenzo Demarest mean anything to you?
Yeah, Lorenzo does.
Would you mind telling us what you know about him and where we may find him?
Oh, you won't be able to find him. He'll find you if he wants to. But I'm pretty sure if you don't have a confirmation that he was killed by either the Kengo or the Wild Ones or maybe even the Night Sharks. If he wasn't killed by someone you're aware of, then he was probably killed by Lorenzo.
Oh, Lorenzo probably killed Hugo. Okay, got it.
Hugo, yeah. So why would it be that Lorenzo would be the one to kill Hugo? Like, did they have some sort of, feud or something, or
Couldn't
really
say.
over the top competition?
I couldn't say. It's probably the case that Hugo owed Lorenzo something. Do you finish your drink, Matt?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Okay. She kindly walks over and takes it from you, kind of brushing her hand against your hand and kind of taking the glass very delicately with her fake hand, the artificial limb, and kind of moves away from you. I'd like the two of you to make a wisdom perception check real quick as she kind of heads back over to the bar.
Oh, it's about to go down.
I've got no perception.
I got a 10.
Oh, this
Yep.
is a good group.
3.
Okay. She says, "Would you like another?" As she says over her shoulder.
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah. So are you going to go find it?
I don't know. Maybe. Might be more trouble than it's worth.
Well, I'm pretty sure that a group of outsiders in Bearport are, if I understand, under the protection of the Night Sharks even, are trying to move the horse out of the city. They're having some issue with customs, last I heard. The horse may already be out of the city.
Yeah, well, like the Night Sharks can actually do anything competently.
I wouldn't know. But if you have any luck finding your quarry, so much the better, I suppose.
And she had mentioned that she doesn't know anything about Lorenzo except he was probably the one to kill Hugo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so trying to reiterate, getting her to maybe, if she had an idea of where to go looking for him, wouldn't
Yeah.
help us at all.
Make an insight check. Wisdom insight check.
Alright, let's hope this goes well. I should have overcharged wisdom before this. Oh well. I got a 16.
It's not terrible.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that she's on the level. She doesn't seem to know anything about Lorenzo other than what she's told you.
And when we said Yuki, it showed that she has no recollection of that name.
Doesn't even.
Okay, cool. I think that's all the information we need at this time. We thank you for helping us.
Okay. Let me see you to the door. And she starts walking over to the door. She kind of brushes past you, Willette, and opens the door. And she doesn't. I mean, she doesn't keep a wide berth from you. She just kind of walks past you, like brushing past you, not even concerning herself with personal space. And she opens the door and
Okay.
for you to be. It just seems like she just doesn't care about like what would be considered taboo. She's kind of touchy, and
Okay.
she lets you out.
I was more suspicious that she was going to try and pull something on us, but
Yeah. Alright, we
you
head
made
out.
me paranoid, John.
Fair enough. All right, you guys head out.
Yeah, we head out, and when we're a small distance away from the horse, I just sort of, like, not necessarily looking at Valet, just sort of, like, looking off to the side or whatever, just sort of say, wonder if she stuck anything in that drink, and if so, what it was.
He dies. No, just
Falls off his horse.
he just falls off the horse and dies.
No, I said I hope it wasn't a bug, like, tracking us.
Oh right.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm not thinking she's trying to kill me as much as trying to keep tabs and see if she can, like, double cross us.
Fair enough.
That's more the mentality I'm going
Yeah.
for.
I'm sure if anything, it would have just been to enhance the mood.
Okay, and you guys start heading back. You guys head back. All right. Trump. As you guys start to head back, an auto carriage like pulls up on the street, kind of cutting you off from the main thoroughfare that you were about to approach to get towards your side of the city. Out of the vehicle, two individuals pop out wearing very familiar garb. They appear to be wearing the same ornamentation and attire as the two members of the Remick family or the three
Yep.
members of the Remington that you fought. One of them
Draw
kind
my sword.
One of them kind of like raises his hand and goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" The other one walks around to the back end of the auto carriage and opens the door, and out steps a noble, very magnificent-looking individual, hair cut kind of perfectly in a very military-looking style. He looks very handsome, and at his side, he looks like he has like a scimitar or possibly just a machete, some sort of curved, kind of bladed weapon. And he looks over to you and says, "No, no need for that."
When he gets out and I see it, I sheath the sword again.
So really fine steeds you have there. I believe that you, pointing at you, Villette, are responsible for a few of my friends having passed. Is that so?
1 second, I'm trying to think of how I would respond.
Over at an apartment complex in Bearport. You get around a bit, don't you?
It seemed that there was a conflict of interest between us that couldn't be settled diplomatically. I came out on the better of that arrangement, it seems.
I mean, you could argue that that's the case, but
In the short term.
considering your current situation, I don't know how much better it is for you. I'm not threatening you, nor do I have any interest in tangling with you here on the streets. I'd really hate to embarrass you and kill your friend, and then walk you across the city to where I want you to tell me those bastard Kengo are. You know, don't you?
Who?
The Kengo, the ones that have the horse. They took it
Listen,
from us.
we don't know of any small bird people, all right?
He
Sorry, too good.
shrugs and says, "Look, it's not too hard. You know where they are. They have the horse. We want to fight them directly. You walk away after telling us where they're at. We'll go deal with them, get our horse, be on our way."
John, real quick, out of character. These are the Remics. I got a vague hint that they might be associated with one of the gangs. Or are they just sort of their own small faction?
They seem to be just coming from outside. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they're their own sort of players. Cool. I don't care about them then. Vlet straight up just lies and said, "I don't know anything about where the Kengo or a horse besides the ones we are riding are located."
Yeah, really interesting that you're saying that. That's cool, but I know the Kengo killed Hugo before the deal could be finished. I knew that that was going to happen. Hugo was very reckless, pointlessly so. And so look, they killed him. Alright? That's against the law. That's against everything that's right. And they caused a deal to be broken. Okay? I'm just trying to see what's right is done. That's all I'm trying to do. And I know that you're in league with them. I just know it. Why else would you have been in that apartment?
To fix the plumbing.
I knew that would come up. Nice.
That was a joke, John. Sam doesn't actually say that. It's just
Why else would you have been there?
To have, let's see, what do I say? I'm not good at thinking on my feet, people.
to have a drink, visit a friend.
What he says. To visit a friend. Have a drink. Well, he had the drink.
Charisma deception.
Alright.
Yeah, to
Hopefully
be fair, your charisma is probably better than mine.
we have the same, both 14. Alright. I got a
Hey,
17.
What's the name of your friend?
Jane Caitlin.
Doesn't live there. Pretty sure nobody by that name lives there. Looks over at one of the guys. So you said, we checked everybody out. We found the secret name that Yuko was going under. He tried to hide from us. That's why we were going to that house. Or that apartment. So, an interesting lie, I guess. She could have at least...
Or you guys suck at gathering information.
I mean, I guess you could be right. Maybe you are telling the truth. Point of the matter is look. We have 2 ways we can walk away from this encounter, this engagement here. Okay? You try to ride off on your horses. We run you over with the auto carriage. That's one thing that could happen. Okay? Not what I want. It's not what I want either, boss. Shut up. Looks back at you. Second thing that can happen. You tell us where we can find the Kengo. We go there with you. Find them. Let you go on about your way after we have confirmed that that's where they're at. And we deal with them. How's that sound?
The
John,
best I can.
Wait, hold on, John. Just as a quick question, how big is the car?
It's bigger than
what
Ren's.
is it like? Would it be considered a large creature, or like I'm trying to figure out?
Yeah. It would be
There's a
considered.
grasp.
It would be considered.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out.
It would be considered a large creature for the purposes of Earth and Grasp. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm just like I'm very tempted to just tell like Valette get ready to ride really quickly, and then just the front of the car.
Oh, that'd be too funny. Shoot, I lost what I was gonna say. What was the last thing he asked again, John?
He said the 2 things that you can
Get
do.
out of this?
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I don't know anything about the Kengo, and we will be on our way. The best I can offer
He draws
is
his sword.
Yeah, I'm just.
I'll
going to
finish the
just-
statement. The best I can offer is if you tell us where we can reach you or how to, and we ever hear anything in our goings on in the city, we can drop a notice.
He's shaking his head. The other 2 people are drawing their weapons as well, and they're starting to approach you.
I'm just going to say, Valette.
Draw my sword. It
I-
seems the same is happening now that happened to your friends.
Okay. Roll initiative.
Crap!
That works. Token.
That's my token, and then I click initiative. 15.
8.
He's a pretty boy. He has a nice sword. He's gonna kill us.
Again, we can ride away, and I can try to earth and grasp the car so that they can't. Not a bad plan.
I didn't have
I would call it a plan.
It's not a bad move.
So
If it works.
that will work.
I didn't
It
say
might.
shit.
Okay.
He did give me a thumbs up, though.
I don't remember that. You don't have video documentation that that's the case. Okay, I've got his initiative set.
Yeah.
15's the highest.
Awesome.
They're about 30 feet away from you. The auto carriage is about 50 feet away from you. And the way you want to go is directly past them. The
So
road,
we'd have to run towards them to go past.
the road is wide enough that you could do so,
Uh-huh.
and only have to suffer an attack of opportunity from one of them.
Okay. Before charging forward, I look to Sam and say, oh, shall we? And I hold out judgment.
Get me within 30 feet of the car.
Wait, real quick, just are we on 2 horses or are we just on mine?
2
I thought we were
horses.
just on yours. Oh,
Oh.
we're on 2.
Yeah, I thought Gilbert gave you a horse.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay. I was confused. I thought that we were just on Tim's, but okay.
It was fine steed.
Yeah, Gilbert
Well,
gave you
yeah,
a horse.
I knew you had that. I just didn't realize.
Yeah.
So-
About that. Anyway,
So Valette
I
holds
whispered to the
out.
horse, get me within 30 feet.
Valette holds out judgment to Sam.
Okay. I returned the favor.
On initiative 10, are you using your action to activate with him, or are you basically saying Sam can activate off of you?
I am using my action to activate with Sam.
Okay. So you touch tips.
We don't know what it does. Maybe it'll help.
Bloody idea. It gives you 10 temporary hit points, and that's it.
Okay. So you choose one ally with an Esper Edge besides yourself, but not excluding Samuel. That ally gains an additional charge to his Esper Edge.
All right, I choose Sam.
Since your options are limited.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
so
either
neat.
me or the.
I
and
can
the horse
recharge
which got his
someone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And then
You can pass a charge.
I will start running. Oh, I'm gonna start. Yeah, I'm gonna. If I charge one of them on my horse, to sort of like do the going past them thing.
Trample effectively.
Right, trample them, and my horse keeps going.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
All right, cool. So I'm just gonna chase straight towards one of them. And why am I scrolling here? I need to pull up my horses. And this is not working for me. And sorry, this is like. There we go. Character sheet. So I charge forward and make an attack roll with my horse where its hooves.
Okay. 16 will hit one of the. Are you going for one of the side people or the main man?
I would probably go for one of the side people.
Yep, that'll hit.
I'm
Wait,
sorry.
Lobo's here?
Roll 20's messing me up right now. All right.
Main man.
I can't scroll down. I'm sorry. Oh, there we go. Finally. All right. And then, do I hit the attack to do the damage, or do I just manually roll it in?
You can just.
Oh,
click
there
it
we go.
on.
Yeah. Attack. 15 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. And he'll fall prone, and you continue
Nice.
on after. Correct.
Can I make the bonus attack action with the horse before we move on?
Yeah.
All right. And that is a 23 to hit,
Damage.
and another 7 bludgeoning damage as we proceed on our way.
Okay. Yeah, he looks pretty wounded, bloodied, I dare say. And you continue past. Then it goes to 10 before Sam. And the main guy kind of looks over his shoulder as you run past, and then kind of looks at Sam. Points at Sam.
Uh-oh.
The other guy kind of goes, like he's focused on Sam now. And then this Remick rushes back after Valette and catches up with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just very quickly touches your device. And then the second he does, he does it in such a way that you kind of realize, oh shit, he deactivates the device. It falls into pieces there on the ground.
Nice. That's
Wait,
pretty cool.
what device- what
My
device
horse.
did we touch?
Yep.
Okay.
I am now on foot.
Yeah, and make a dexterity saving throw.
Because it's sudden. 8.
You're prone.
I'm just gonna read one thing on this real quick to see. If anything, Steed, you can cast spells when Steed starts to hit points. It becomes a spell. You can also disassemble it at any time. In either case, Steed cannot be reassembled.
He effectively disassembled it.
Right, I'm trying to think if there's anything like if it goes underneath me. Is it since we ride seamlessly? If it would somehow give me advantage on it, but I don't see it. So, oh well. All right, I am prone. That's cool.
Okay. Sam.
John, 30-foot cube. How many of them can I get in it?
All of them.
30-foot cube! Hypnotic pattern!
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw DC's 15.
Prone guy's
So I
out.
get at least one of them.
Guy who's looking at you is out. Boss is not out.
Focus on the boss then, Tim. Focus on the boss.
Okay.
All right, I can do that.
It goes back up to you, 87. You are prone, about 5 feet away from this guy.
Okay.
Quick question. The boss did not go out. Right?
He is fine, yeah.
Right.
He didn't get hypnotic patterned.
Well, no, I was asking the boss is not going after Tim, though.
He's the one who broke the horse.
Oh, the boss is the one who broke them. Okay,
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure of that.
Oh, cool. Okay, he's right in front of me. That even works better. I stand up then and start going to town on this dude.
Okay.
Judgment.
He definitely blocks the first attack. He definitely
Shoot, sorry.
blocks the second attack.
All right, and I will action surge for 2 more.
Okay, we'll count that one there. He blocks the 18, and then he'll use his reaction to block the 19.
Oh wow.
You can parry.
As a part of his
That's-
reaction, he'll also push you back 5 feet. Make an athletics check.
All right, athletics. I got a 26.
He does not shove you.
Nice.
Cool.
All right, on 10, he looks to you and kind of like raises the blade up at you after deflecting and kind of focuses it in on you. And he says, "Last chance. Very last chance."
I'm going full bore on the lie. Like I said, the best I can
As
do
you
is keep my
answer
ear
anything
to the
besides
ground.
surrender, you see him bolt away from you, not drawing an opportunity attack, and rush towards Sam. He's going to make 3 attacks against the horse. Hit. And a horse has... what's that? 19 hit points?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you see him do is bolt 50, or like pretty much 50 feet away from you towards the horse, cut out the first leg. As it starts to spiral down, it slowly starts to dissipate as it was created, and he cuts the other leg, then he spins the blade upwards in an arc, kind of jumping through the disassembled living horse, and basically the head spirals after him, blood and magic energy kind of creating around him, causing all parts of the horse to fall away. Matt, make a dexterity saving throw.
I mean, regardless of what happens, I have an idea of what to do, so... Let's see. That's going to be a 14 there.
You are not prone. You've managed to land on your knee and kind of get to your feet. He's about 5 feet away from you. Okay, what would you like to do, Sam?
Quick question. How far are the other 2 away from me?
The one who turned to kind of face off against you is about 30 feet, and he's about 20 feet away from the car. And then the one that kind of moved in on you guys, or the one that got knocked prone, is the same distance away. They're about 20 feet each. 20 or 30
Okay,
feet.
good. Then this will not affect them, because I'd rather not wake them up with this. But hey, I got this spell for situation anyway. Why not? I'm going to stand slightly past Tim.
Thunderstep?
Yeah, slightly past Tim.
Okay.
So that Tim's in between me and Boss Man.
Okay. So you're basically teleporting away so that you're behind Tim. That works.
Yes. Yeah, so there's something in between, Boss Man and me.
Okay. He fails his saving throw, so he'll take the damage. Okay. Cool.
Nice.
15. You guys are both now... He is where you started, effectively. And you guys are where he started. So you literally could dart the way you want to go, or you can continue fighting. You also are really close to the car if you want to just take it, too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, John. The only sad thing is I would have to leave my horse behind and lose my
Just
device.
You can pick up the horse as an action.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I look to Sam and say, look to Sam and then look to the car with like, I don't know, some sort of eye signal. Pick up my horse and run to the car.
Okay. You are able to pick up the horse, and you are able to get to the car. You are with your hands full of horse.
Going to turn on the car.
With your hands full of horse, you are not able to get into the car because the doors are closed.
Right.
Someone else is going to have to open the door for you. All right.
Right, that was my question.
Yeah, basically, if you've ever taken like groceries to your car, it's that whole process of oh shit. Only you've
Unless
got
you're a Giralon and you have two others.
right. One of those blue people back at the Capitol. All right, so that's
I should have teleported inside of the car. That would have been so awesome.
87's
Yeah.
turn. Like some
It
sort
would
of
have been.
Japanese anime, he runs up the front of the car and is now standing on the top of the car just above you. Make an athletics check or acrobatics check, your choice, Tim.
That would be athletics. 16.
He beats you out. Once he gets to the top of the car, he spirals down and a very just ornate kind of like motion presses his foot against your throat and presses you back, throwing you back 5 feet, and then he leaps down into the position where you were, interceding himself in between you and the car. That was with his first attack, shove. Second attack, third attack are with the blade. 17 misses. 21 hits. You'll take 9 points of slashing damage.
Alright. Oh. Let's do that here. 3, and then minus 9. Why
Alright.
is this not working?
Sam, you're up.
I mean, just going to toll the dead on him right now.
Okay. Oh, lucky crits on saving throws. I'll take no damage. Yay. Alright, you see a bell kind of appear above his head, and he kind of like closes his eyes for a moment, and it doesn't chime. And then he kind of steels himself to face off. 87, you currently have your sword in your hand, but you have it in such a way that you can't wield it. You also have your shield in your hand, but again, because you have all of the parts like scooped up, you don't have the ability to swing or block with your shield.
Right. Can I just drop the parts and take a swing?
Yeah, all out.
Alright, I will drop the parts and take some swings.
All right. The clitter clatter of horse disassembled horse parts. They're robot parts.
Yeah. 22?
That'll hit.
And a 1.
Roll a 20-sided.
Oh, wow.
Roll a 20-sided dice.
Alright. So,
This is not going well
1d20. 11!
Okay. He gets hit by the first attack, kind of gets cut just a little bit. You can see that underneath his green coat and his blue tunic, you can see that there's very fine, just shiny chain. And then when the second attack comes in, he catches the sword guard of judgment and kind of parries it back in so that he has the flat of the machete against your shoulder, blade kind of towards your neck, and your sword pressed against you. On his initiative, he will make his attacks. His first attack is just renting in with the blade.
Yep.
Hit. Second attack. Hit. And third attack is going to miss that AC. So it looks like you're going to take a total of 18 points of slashing damage from the 2 attacks.
Alright.
10 and an 8, if you need to know.
I don't have any damage reduction, so no.
Okay. And then, yeah, he just kind of holds his position.
Alright.
Sam.
You know what? This might not work, but I don't know. Give it a shot.
Ooh, nice. On him or the car. It was a great idea.
Yeah,
it would have. It would have
I'm
worked.
doing this on the guy who I know. I like that idea. I want Tim to just.
In fact, even if it didn't happen, go ahead and gain inspiration for having come up with it because it's beautiful. I loved it. But yeah, he saves.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I figured he's a fighter type, so.
Yeah, his strength and dex are
Yes, proficiency and strength.
his strength and dex are his high stats. Yeah. All right. Millette.
All right. My turn. With the attack action, can I use one of them to try to shove him?
Yeah, shove is basically an attack replacement.
Okay,
Same with
cool.
Also, Tim. Alternate idea. We could lie to him and say sure. Although I don't know if he's going to have some binding way or to keep an eye on him. But still.
He straight up said, "You're going to tell me where they are, and we're going to go with you right now."
Oh, gotcha. Never mind. I mean, you could also lie and take him into a clever trap, but, whatever.
I mean, unless you suggest it. Yeah, we're just gonna... I'm gonna take the shove action to try and shove him prone.
Okay.
15.
He succeeds. 17.
Alright, and seeing that doesn't work, we'll just try and swing smack him.
Blocks.
And I miss.
Okay. As a part of his movement, with his free hand, he's going to open the door of the vehicle, kind of step to the side, and reach in with his blade, kind of holding it out to you. You see him grab the key from the ignition, and then once he has it, basically using that as part of his movement, he's going to move away from you, around and away from you, to where Sam is.
Can I get an attack of opportunity on him?
No.
I have Sentinel.
Which says...
No, that's part of his thing.
Yeah, no. Sentinel might work. What is Sentinel's wording? Click it.
I don't know how to get it to pop in.
You click on the speech bubble.
Oh, okay.
Even if they take the disengage act, no. When a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack, no. Yeah, so its ability is its mobility. So it basically just doesn't provoke opportunity attacks.
Okay.
From you.
Not a problem.
So, yeah.
So, guys,
It's
as
cool.
I said, I have a barbarian backup anyway, so,
Well, sorry, I have to attack you first. So go ahead and make an athletics or an acrobatics check. He's going to try and shove you.
What, me?
No. Willette.
Oh, okay.
I have to attack you first.
10.
Okay. So he basically, after getting out of the car with the key, kind of just barrels into you, knocks you over, and then stampedes over top of you, much like a horse, and then moves towards Sam. He'll make 2 attacks. I'm sure I see nothing, right?
13 right now because I don't have mage armor.
Hit. Total of 19 damage.
Well, there goes about half my health. Yep, I'm down to 13 hit points.
Okay. Sam.
Also, wait, hold on a second. What was it to hit me for both of his things?
Oh, sorry. It was a 19 and a 23.
Okay, yeah, it wouldn't matter then. Okay, Alright, so the wording of opportunity attack is that you must be able to see the creature, right?
Invisibility will stop me from being able to hit you.
I don't have invisibility, but I am going to try something so he can't see me
Blind.
Walk loud.
and make a stone wall in between me and him, an illusion of one.
Okay.
So, hopefully he can't see through it, basically.
I want you to make me a charisma Deception.
Well, no, it
Well,
it
I know.
says to see through the illusion. Charisma.
I know,
Well,
but
yeah.
basically, here's how I'm gonna play it. Just go ahead and make me either a charisma deception or an charisma arcana. Your choice.
Let's go with Arcana because my charisma's. That's okay, but so 15.
Yep, that meets it. So basically, here's what happens, and here's why the check was necessary. So you're basically stepping back from him, and as he's kind of like leaning in, and it looks like you're about to withdraw. You pull your hand up and make it look like the wall comes out of the ground. He swings at the wall, but as he's swinging at the wall, you realize that that's the point of escape, and that's when you withdraw, not before or after. And so he cuts into that.
Cool. So yeah, and then I'm just going to bolt as far away from that wall as I can because,
Yeah, he very quickly realizes that the wall is obviously not physical. He just cut right through it.
But yeah, just trying to put some distance between me and him in a creative way.
Yep, I like it. And then
I don't know why though, because all you did was burn a spell to do what disengage does.
he
Right.
wanted flavored stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
just
flavor's nice.
So 87.
All
Yeah,
right.
plus I have plenty of first level spells.
And Sam, for all intents and purposes, Vlett doesn't see, is running away.
Okay.
So Vlett, not knowing this though, and thinking there could still be danger.
Oh, sorry. Top of this initiative. Both of you make a wisdom perception check.
Alright. Wisdom perception. I rolled a 18.
So
5.
Vlett, you see it. Sam, you don't. Caps are inbound. There are yellow caps. Look like they're on their way over. Looks like there's one that's actually rappelling down from a higher point.
He's coming in on my position.
It looks like the yellow caps, at least 4 of them from what you can see, are moving towards your position, correct? It does also look like that the guy who's assaulting you guys is also aware of that fact. Sam is not and is running.
Right. I sheath my sword. And as they're coming down, just start to pack up my horse and wait for them to be fully on the scene.
Okay. Remick jumps into his carriage, shuts the door, looks at the wall annoyed, turns the car over as his action, and will, as his movement, drive through the wall instead of making an investigation check to see if it's real. It goes
glad you
right.
discerned it.
Yeah, he goes right through, and I need Sam to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh gosh.
Got this.
Uh-oh.
That's a 5. No, okay, that's a 17.
You get hit by the car, but you manage to kind of roll off of it in a way that doesn't send you like skyrocketing. It just kind of clips you up to the side. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the concrete, and or the dwarf stone rather, and he drives off.
Okay, so I'm at 1 hit point.
Oh, did you make concentration
okay.
checks for hypnotic pattern?
No, it's already gone. The other two,
Oh, okay.
because he just cast the silent image.
Yeah.
And
Oh, okay.
the other two, Remics, see the situation as they're basically brought back into attention but moments ago, and just rush off. You see that 2 of the 4 caps start to bolt after them. I'm pretty sure we're dropping out of initiative at this point.
I
What?
hope so.
1 cap per each of you moves over to you and says, "Halt."
And I nod and I stop putting things away because I think it takes a minute, and I stand there ready to face his questions.
Got reports that someone was casting spells out here on the street, some sort of renegade mage. Did you see him?
Now-
Yeah,
You
he just ran away in the car.
make a deception check.
What-
Charisma deception. Make it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
And you have advantage because the dude did speed off. Get advantage too, dude, because the guy is actually speeding off. 22.
I'm going to use my inspiration
No,
to get the 22.
You don't need to. You have advantage because
Oh, right. That's right. Advantage. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah,
But-
22.
you see him pull out a communication device and start walking away from you, yelling into it, basically explaining auto carriage moving out of Sunpike, heading towards the bridge to to Bearport, and then he just moves away from you. The other 2 that escaped, you see that they're being chased by the other two, and the two that were basically coming to talk to you kind of move away from you. It looks like they did catch the last end couple of seconds of that fight and saw that you were basically being beat up by a renegade mage.
Yes, a renegade mage was crap. He wasn't a fighter.
That makes
A
sense.
mage.
You take the time to reassemble your steed. The two of you get on the same horse, and you head back, right?
Yes, that sounds great.
Taking the back thoroughfares to kind of keep away from obvious perception of two people riding around on a horse.
Yes.
All right. Eventually, everybody returns back at House Kurgosler. It'll go in this order. First, Yen Lauren, you arrive back at the house. Is there anything that you want to do when you get there?
I imagine I would go check in with Broxcar, see where his research is at, and grab a drink and join in, but we don't need to RP that.
Okay. Ren and Gilbert, you arrive next.
Go ahead, Gilbert. You learned a lot.
All right. Yeah, I would go over what we learned and say that the operation was a complete success. And then I would ask you. So I'd tell you basically. I don't want to repeat everything we did, but you guys. I tell you what we did and what we learned, and then you guys tell us what you learned. What happened?
Oh, since there's only me, that's where I would tell you I got the license, and what's his name, Lord Brandt would like an invitation for him and a special guest
Ah, okay.
for
Interesting.
dinner at your household.
I'll have to put that on my to-do list so I don't forget to do it. Excellent.
If we could get, well, what's your boy's name? Just send him on it right now. Just get it done and over with. Don't fuck this up for me, Gilbert. Let's get him in here now. No time waste. Yes.
Oh, well, I mean, I could invite him. I don't think he's going to come over right now. I
No,
mean, I'm
but get the
expecting,
invitation in
Sam
mail.
and Valette to be back at any minute. But yeah, we could do that. I could send an invitation. I'll just write it up. Boom, boom, boom.
Please do.
Invitation. Yes, that sounds great. I heard about, you talked to my house guest, Yen Lauren. I'd love to have you and a guest. I'm excited who it could be. You have always been one who kind of likes to, be secretive about things, and it's always exciting and interesting. Blah, blah, blah. So something to that effect. And I'd send a letter out to him, because I know where he lives.
Okay.
See,
After
going to the Capitol and getting paperwork done can be very fun and interesting and rewarding. Let this be known, people.
Yeah, Lauren's like,
I thought you would get a driver's license too when you were there, but he
Do
doesn't.
I need a driver's license?
do.
If you get pulled over, you do.
Oh, I didn't know that. Nobody told me that.
I know. I thought
I
of it.
thought you already
after the
had
fact.
one, honestly.
No, he doesn't.
Nah, I'm just really good at things.
By the time he manages to finish drafting that letter and get it to Rolf to be sent, in stumble Sam and Valette with one horse. You would have been acknowledged maybe a few minutes ago that your horse is no longer alive when it was destroyed.
I used to have a simple life. It wasn't much. I would go around, I'd place explosives occasionally. Now every single day I turn around and someone's cutting me with a stupid knife or sword.
So how did all of your activities go?
Well, a lot better than yours.
Nice
Let me just put it that
transition.
way. They were a complete success. Would be the word I would use. And I explained to him what happened and how there were no weapons drawn in anger, none of that stuff. And that's about it.
Gilbert, you are very judging. You don't know what happened until you heard the account from us. Yet you make it seem like you're better than us because you didn't come to violence in your mission.
Well, that in what we're dealing with, that's usually a big plus. That's all I'm saying.
So I recount the information we got,
Just as you're
And how
about
when
to
we were
finish that
What's
story, just as you're
Uh-huh.
about to finish the story, you hear a knock on the door of the estate.
Oh, great. All right, I will
Before
go
you
get
answer
it.
that door, can you like give the man with 6 hit points some little love in here?
Little lovin'.
Yes, just in case someone at that door is trying to kill us, I'd rather die right now.
Because we're not weighing that option out, because it could definitely be someone who wants to butcher us.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. It could be someone.
All right, I will cast a level 3 Cure Light Wounds on him. Or Cure Wounds. It's not Cure Light Wounds anymore. That's the other edition.
No, just cure wounds.
Yeah, just Cure Wounds. Let me click it. Click it to win it. Sorry about this, guys.
That's fine. We
You know
it
what
can be
Gilbert
something
would be
sometimes.
thinking in his head, but he would not say it? He would be thinking, oh, I'll heal you when you bring me my horse, but he wouldn't say that. He wouldn't do that, but, you know, he would definitely think it. Like, okay,
Not my fault.
I see how you
Yeah.
guys
I'll
are.
heal you when you bring me my horse. Yeah, I'm such a big man. I'm so mean.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a big guy.
I can't bring
He's
you
very
your
small.
horse. You summoned it.
All right, here we go. Healing you up. This is what's going to happen. Boom, boom, boom.
No, that's all. All right,
It's not the best, but
it's
not
okay.
bad.
It's,
17.
I'm at half.
You only
health.
rolled 1d8. Oh no, you didn't. I never cast. There it is.
You
I see.
hear the soldier, the old soldier, at the door, and says, "My Lord Kurgosler, Lord Archild wishes to speak with you."
Lord Archild. I'm trying to think if I know him. Or is it one of the ones on the list? That sounds like.
It is one you've met before.
If it's Corey Archild, he has a full screen stone staff and a blue hood.
It is Corey.
Okay. I'd say hello.
Hello.
I'd kind of like, before I wave him to come on in, I'd be like, I'd kind of pull off, whisper to the guard that's near the door to go make sure the others aren't all bloody right in the hallway. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Kind of get them out of the way.
Lord Archild kind of steps to you and he states, he's holding his staff, which he did bring along with him, and he kind of gestures for the soldier to take hold of it and put it wherever it needs to be placed, and he does so. And then Lord Archild looks to you and says, Lord Kurgosler, last we met, you were in dire straits, seeking hospitality from fellow noble.
That is true.
Now that you've come into some position and have been placed as one of the vassal houses of Lord Rostagar, I want to make sure that when you have your audience with him, you are keen to make sure you explain how helpful I have been, and how our houses are very closely tied. You understand what I mean, correct?
Sure, of course.
I would hate for it to be the case that he finds out that some of the company you keep wear white masks and do things they shouldn't be doing.
And then I would kind of like look at the guard near the door, and then kind of. Had he come in at that point?
Who, the guard? Or our child hasn't really entered. He's kind of
Okay, I
stepped
kinda-
into the foyer a little bit.
I'd kind of step out with him a little bit
Okay.
and be like, because I didn't want to talk about it in front of the guard. Be like, so actually, I was not aware that some of the people that I hang around with wear white masks. Could you tell me who this is, perchance?
Interesting bluff. Very interesting. Lord Kurgosler, I expected more of you.
Wait, I'm like a master liar. Wouldn't I be able to do that?
You told him the last time you met with him that you were here and that you were in league with idealists, if I recall
Man,
correctly.
It's too bad that Kevin is not a master liar who can keep track of all this crap. That's what the problem is. All right. I'll be like, yeah. I was just wanted to see what you knew.
I'm not trying to sound threatening, and I hope for our friendship That you do not think I'm coming here on hostilities. No, 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 no. It's just that word around court is that Lord Rostragar himself is wishing to meet with you now that you've been placed into this position to serve as vassal house to him. And from what I understand, within the 6th day, him and his retinue should be arriving at your house unannounced. But you will have forewarning because I have told you. That,
Yes.
and keeping you in my house while you are in less grand capabilities financially should serve as favors for you to make sure that you at least bring my name up while you are discussing things with Lord Rostagar. I don't ask you for anything more than that. Just a name drop.
Ah, yes, that is completely something that I'm now going to do.
And-
I'm glad you reminded me.
Not a problem. It is important for us nobles to remind the others of their friendships. There's so many. They're hard to keep track of.
That's true. That is true. Is this now out of character? This is the guy that we stayed at.
Yes.
Friend of Brockscar, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's why. Okay, I didn't recognize his name at first, but now I do. All right. Okay, he was pretty cool. All right, I will definitely do that. And also, thank you for the information about the surprise visit. Just moving into the house, it's not all up to what I would normally consider
Of course.
ready for company. But we'll have to whip it into shape.
Of course. I also have heard rumors that you were planning on having a party.
This is true. Boy, rumors start fast around this town.
You should
But
know.
yeah,
You should know better.
you will definitely get an invite for sure.
Thank you so much. I cannot wait. And he turns, takes his staff back, and walks out the door.
Okay, then I'd walk back in the door, and then I'd go get everybody and be like, okay, guys, I just got some very interesting news. I'd say, the noble house, whatever his name was.
The royal house.
No, I mean the noble house. I can't remember his name.
Doug. Just go with Doug.
The royal house of whatever. He
That guy.
remember we stayed with him because he
Our
was
child.
Rockscar. Yes. He has warned me that the king, it's pretty much the king, right?
Yeah.
The king is going to be making a surprise visit here within the next 6 days. So I just want to make sure this place is all whipped up, looking good. We can't be like, walking around in our underwear. I'm talking about you, Valette. No, all I'm saying,
This kid.
all I'm saying is, to be serious, I just want to get everything straightened up. Also, I'm very concerned about my unwanted guest in the basement. What if he happened to find out about that? So, if you guys have any ideas, or if we can get rid of this quickly, that would be great. Because I want to make a good impression on this guy. He's basically like my boss.
We
This-
can just kill him.
The soldier says,
No,
"My
you
lord."
should.
We killed the king? This seemed very difficult.
The soldier says, "My lord, do you mean the gentleman who was in the small alcove in the basement?
Yes.
He
We could hide him.
he left while you were out.
That is the best news I've heard all day.
It was shortly before.
Wait. Did he say where he was going?
No, he seemed really off though.
So this is bad.
Yeah, we weren't told to keep him in the
Yeah,
I
house.
say that to
The soldier says to Gilbert, "We weren't told to keep him in the house."
How was he off?
It just seemed like he was just really confused.
The conglomerate was controlling his
I
mind.
think so. That's exactly
Well, he
what I
was
think.
had a ritual circle, right?
It sounds like he must have had it lapse, and in that
Maybe.
moment, since he was
I
not
like how
afforded
you think
protection of the
The
house,
conglomerate, and you literally work for a mind controlling beast. But moving forward.
Well, I mean, it's
Um,
like the horse shortage thing. It's obviously
Yeah.
some in their best interest. So, of course, they're going to
Right.
keep it up.
Well, guys, this could be very bad because I had thought at one point, maybe it would be good just to turn him in. But then I thought, well, we don't want the conglomerate getting him because he has knowledge about us that we may not want him knowing.
As he finishes that sentence, cut scene from you guys, cut scene to the director's
Boom, boom, boom.
scene. You see Adams walking kind of just idly away from the house. moving towards a place between mansions, in a very kind of narrow space between the Barbican walls, the defensive walls of the estates. There, waiting in the shadows for him, is a woman with white paint over her face and a claw for her hand in her left kimono sleeve. She slowly draws a sword, and as Adams kind of comes out of his stupor, he realizes that he is within 5 feet of Baiken Masami, and she says, "By order of the Meijir, you, who have corrupted magic and used it for your own forces, are to be dispatched." And she cuts him down. And that's where we'll end the session for tonight.
Oh,
Nice.
man.
Boom, boom, boom.
We should have killed him ourselves, but I wasn't going to do that.
Thanks for watching. If you were watching, I saw you
All
out
you
there,
had to
Wilbur.
do was say okay.
I will kill the stream now.
If you had actually just done it and I didn't